So in this video, we are going to learn the Runge Kutta method, the fifth problem. Now here, they have asked you to find out the fourth order Runge Kutta method to compute the y of 1.1, given that dy by dx they have given the function and y of 1 is equal to 1 also they have given. Okay. Now the interesting thing here is that h is not given in the question. Okay, but in the formula we require h. We will see how to calculate h. Now here, whatever given things is that we have to note it down. So here given dy by dx is always considered as what function of x and y. So x comma y function is treated as dy by dx. So in this dy by dx is equal to what? X into y power 1 by 3. Okay. Now next, y of 1 is equal to 1. This is the initial condition given. So it is treated as y of x naught is equal to y naught. Always remember this form. Whatever is there inside the bracket is treated as x naught, that is equal to 1, the initial stage of x. And y naught is the corresponding y value, which is also 1 here. Next, y of 1.1 they have asked. Okay. So what is the meaning of that? Next stage we can consider. See, x naught is considered as this initial stage, initial value. Next stage we can consider the whatever asked in the question. So y 1.1. So this you can treat it as what? Y of x1 is equal to y1. Okay. The same as this thing. See, y of x0 is equal to y0. Y of x1 is equal to y1. So that means x1 at x1 value 1.1. What will be y1 value? This is what they are asking. Simple. Now we need to understand how to calculate h also. See, initial stage is what? X0 equal to 1. Now if I want to go to x1, what will happen? X1 we know already, we know it is 1.1. But how I reach there? I have to take this step which is treated as h value. Step size we'll call it. Okay. So in order to go from the ground floor to first floor, I need to take some step. That step value is given as step size h. Now, how to calculate h? Very simple. Just subtract the higher value x1 minus x0. The first floor minus the ground floor. Okay. So here it is 1.1 minus 1. So what is the answer? 0.1. So h value is treated here as 0.1. Very simple. So whatever is asked in the question, that is 1.1 minus the initial value given in the question. Okay, always x1 minus x0. That's all. Now this x1 value you can treat it as x also. It depends on you. You can treat this as x also, but you have to understand that is considered as the higher value. Okay, for that purpose I have taken x1 so that you can understand x0, x1, x2, so on. Next, after doing all these given things, writing all this, now we have to go for the formulas. Okay, so formulas already I have written over here. So in this formula, if you see, we need to just evaluate k1, k2, k3, k4, and at last we have to use one formula to get the Runge Kutta fourth order. Okay, we'll start with k1. K1 value, as we know, it is given h into h is 0.1. Okay, into function of x0 comma y0. So what is x0 and y0 value? X0 is 1, y0 is also 1. Remember that. So function of 1 comma 1. So here anyways we are having function of x comma y. In place of x and y, you have to just substitute what? 1 and 1. So 0.1 into, now this particular function is x is there. So 1 into 1 power 1 by 3. So 1 power anything is 1 itself, right? So we know directly the answer. So the k1 value becomes 0.1 directly we can write. Next, k1 value we got. Next we'll go for k2. K2 the formula you have to remember. So h again, so 0.1 into function of, now function of this thing has changed. x0 plus h by 2. What is x0 value? 1 plus h value 0.1 by 2, comma y0 value again 1 plus k1 value. Now k1 is the previous value we calculated, 0.1 by 2. So the k2 value becomes 0.1 into function of 1 plus 0.05, it is 1.05. Here also again the same thing, 1.05. Now this particular thing we have to substitute in what? F of x comma y, right? The function. So 0.1 into, now function you have to substitute, that is xy power 1 by 3. So it will be 1.05, okay, into 1.05 power 1 by 3. So you can put the bracket 1 by 3 you have to do. Okay, so use the calculator to find the answer. The answer you will be getting it as 0.1067. To value also, let us go for the K3 value. So K3 value again the same formula. The only change is that this particular part K2 will come instead of K1. So 0.1 into function of, now here 1 plus same thing. So this part is same as K2 value, same thing. Okay, so you can directly write 1.05. Okay, I'm going to directly write 1.05. Next, here y0 value 1 plus, now K2 value. K2 is the previous value, 0.1067 divided by 2. So what's the value you're getting? 0.1 into function of 1.05, comma, this particular thing will be 1.05335. So the K3 value becomes 0.1 into, now in place of function you have to substitute the values. So it will be 1.05 into y power 1 by 3. So it is 1.05333 power 1 by 3. Okay. So the value becomes 0.1068. K3 value also done. Let us go for the K4 value. So K4 value, the formula has changed. So h into 0.1 into function of x naught plus h. It is 1 plus h value is 0.1, comma, y naught value is 1 plus K3 the previous value 0.1068. So 0.1 into function of 1.1, comma, 1.1068. Now in the function you have to substitute 0.1 as it is into the function we know it is xy power 1 by 3. So 1.1 into 1.1068 power 1 by 3. Okay. The answer of this will be 0.1138. So K4 value also done. Now we have to go for the final formula. The final formula is given by y of x naught plus h is equal to y naught value plus 1 by 6 into k1 plus 2k2 plus 2k3 plus the k4 value. Very simple formula. Okay. Now what is the meaning of x naught plus h? This you have to understand. Okay. As we have discussed that we started with x naught value. So we started with x naught value which is equal to 1. Okay. Then we went for x1 which is 1.1. We took a step of h which we got it as 0.1. So when I add the x0 plus the h, x0 plus h if I add, I will be arriving at 1.1. Simple. That means this value basically represents the 1.1, or we can say x1 value. So directly you can write y of 1.1 or y of x1 is equal to, now you have to substitute the values. Okay. This is the final value. Now here we need to understand that at x1 value is 1.1. Okay. Corresponding y1 value we got it as 1.1068. This is the meaning of this particular thing. Okay, I hope you understood. X1 you can take it as x also, that is also fine. So corresponding y value got. Okay.